It's Courtney and Christina here. We are so excited to be back. It's been a little while. We cannot wait to bring our guest in today. We have been talking, Courtney and I, a lot this past year about starting businesses and becoming entrepreneurs. COVID has really thrown, I know myself, into that space of wanting to know what else is out there. And I've actually loved working from home. And so I'm really excited about today's episode.
I know, and this is actually our first video episode.
Yay!
And we have Miss Tina Berenger coming on from F&H Fitness. So if you're wanting a way to jumpstart your 2021, if you need some motivation, this is the woman for you. So are you ready?
Hey guys, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing so good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here.
You're here. Thank you.
Thanks, ladies.
I was hoping we would get you in because I know you're always busy. I feel like every time I get online, you're teaching a class, you're coaching a class, you're doing an event. You are a busy woman.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely Hustle should be my middle name, I think.
Tina Hustle. I love that.
Tell our viewers who you are, what you do. Who is Tina?
Sure. So I'm a wife. I'm a mother of two. I am an entrepreneur, a business owner. Honestly, just living the dream, living the healthy hustle. So that's me. Definitely business is my jam. And so I'm excited to just share some things with you guys today.
Well, I am so proud of you. I remember a few years ago when you were just getting started. You remember I actually came and I did your makeup and your girl's makeup when you had your photo shoot and you were getting started and you were doing the pull exercises and you blew up. So you have F&H Fitness Studio. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I started with a small studio in North Pole, Alaska, and it just blew up, grew really, really quickly. And so we expanded into Fairbanks a couple years later. And then just 2 years ago, I opened a studio in Anchorage, Alaska. And it was, I know, it's really cool because, business is hard and we all know that. And I made a huge decision to close my North Pole location right before COVID hit. So it was just such a hard thing to do because it was my baby, but also like the timing. Sometimes you just got to have faith and go with your gut. And so just really grateful that those decisions were made before COVID hit, because having two studios and COVID and in different locations is already hard enough. So, but yeah, that's kind of how we got started. I've been personal training since 2004. I started in Orange County, California, in Newport Coast, California. And I have my degree in exercise sports science with a minor in physical education. And I started personal training, interning at a personal training studio there. And I thought I was going to be a PE teacher. I wanted to give back in that way, but once I started personal training, I just knew it was my strength zone. And so I've been doing it ever since.
And you're so captivating and engaging. I see you getting it. And let me tell you, Tina knows what she's talking about because body, yaddy, yaddy.
Yeah, for sure.
In Anchorage, is that still going or what's going on now?
Yeah, so the mandates are pretty rough in Anchorage. I don't know if you guys have really seen what's going on in Anchorage, but all the restaurants are shut down in restaurant. And then gyms are at 25% capacity right now and 10 foot apart. So smaller fitness studios like myself and the other cycling studios and yoga studios, that's tough for us because group fitness is what we do. So for us, we are open right now. I think we're one of the only smaller studios that stayed open during this time. And we're still grinding and out, doing the damn thing. We have to wear masks when we work out. That was really scary for people at first, but I think we've kind of perfected our system. We changed our program design a little bit. We just got to pivot. You've got to be flexible and just like figure it out. And F&H is, it's our livelihood. It's what I do for work full time, so I think that hustle is like necessary. I've got to, support other people working for me and myself and my children. And honestly, I just couldn't imagine not showing up for our people, for our team that right now, I feel right now in these moments is when fitness is the most important, right? Like we all need it mentally. And so I won't go down. I mean, things have tried to take me down. I ain't going down.
Okay.
I love that. I feel like that is the perfect segue into the next thing that I wanted to ask you a little bit about. And speaking of, I hear you on the pivoting. I had been in California for a little bit of time and started working out at Orange Theory, and they had to like pull all their equipment out of the buildings and actually put it into a parking garage. And then even outside, they were spaced out 6 feet apart, and we were still having to wear masks, even though we're like in open air. So I hear you when you're talking about like, we just have to rethink how we're working out and what we're able to like do and what our bodies are capable of, even in a mask. So
sure.
I just wanted to like stamp that. So what I wanted to kind of know, and you started getting into it on your own, but what drives your hustle and your passion for what you do?
I think number one is I care about people. So everything I do is to help. I definitely am a servant leader, and this is just the way I serve in my strength zones and my purpose. So that definitely is the motivating factor, is that I want to help change lives. I want to give back to our community. I want to create a movement in our communities, in Alaska, in the US, in the world, of just truly creating a space of love and acceptance for all people, is kind of our mission, right? And so I always say the cover is the gym, but the meeting is so much deeper, right? Like that's how I reach people. That's kind of the gifts I was given to be able to speak into people's lives and help change lives and give back. So definitely that's my passion behind it. So business for me is more about opportunity to give back more. So just really fired up that I get to live my purpose and be in my purpose, because not everybody gets to do that. So I'm extremely grateful.
Oh my gosh, she is speaking our language, Courtney. We have had so many conversations this past year.
Many. So Christine, so let me tell you, Tina, Christina and I, we are just so over working for someone else. We want to, be our own boss and work for ourselves. And I know for you, I mean, you exploded. Did you ever think that your studio would grow like it did in such a short amount of time?
I think everybody around me knew because they know me, but I always think that I always feel like I need to be doing more. So even with what I've created, I sometimes have to pull back and give myself grace. Like, you're working as hard as you can. You're doing all of the things, because I'm such a high performer. And so I can be really hard on myself. Like, I should be doing more. Wait, and so that's a battle that I kind of have to fight. So I knew I would be successful because I had already been successful as a personal trainer in Orange County, California, so coming back home, I was like, definitely I know I can do it. It was scary.
Yeah.
It was risky. We had to put up collateral. We had to put my dad's boat up for collateral. We had nothing when I started, so I think it's a miracle business in the sense, and my accountant at the time said, a first year into business, she said, I've really never seen anything like this before, somebody being able to create this space. She said, usually women in business like us, we have a man supporting us, and then we're able to do this as a hobby. And that wasn't the case for Sean and I. We were just making it, and we were actually having to get assistance from WIC at the time. I mean, it was, we come from struggle, but that just makes me more motivated, So, yeah, I'm fired up. It's successful, but I think when you're in your purpose, people feel it, right? Like they know it. It's authentic.
Yeah.
So, I've never tried to be anybody that I'm not, and I think that people know that.
I love that.
Ooh, girl, that gave me goosebumps. Just to know that you just leaped, you just went for it, you just did it. That just gives me goosebumps. Oh my gosh.
Love that.
I want to know, how are you balancing it all? You said you're a wife, you're a mom of two, you have this business. Like, how are you doing it all?
Well, I think that is like the biggest trap for women. I think women are shamed most, number one, on their body image, but number two, on parenting, right? So we feel the most shame around those things. So that is honestly the most difficult part of being a business owner, because the lie is that you could do everything.
Yeah.
You can't. That's the lie. You can't. You can get better at making things that are more important priorities. But if I'm giving to my business, there is sacrifice somewhere else. Where is that typically?
Family.
It's my kids, it's my family, it's my husband, right? So I have poured a lot of my energy into my business, which I'm so thankful that I did that. But also it's having those open conversations with my children, with my husband, those hard conversations like, hey, mom, I need you. And so you have to find in business certain times where you can pull back a little bit. Also make sure that you've got the right people in your business, because if you don't, man, that could be really detrimental. And it has been for us in the past. So I think as like you're a baby entrepreneur and you're just going to learn so much, right? Like when I was young in the business, it was like, things were so much harder. I always say, new levels, new devils. So as you grow in business, it's like, I just start to learn more about how to delegate, how to prioritize. But I can tell you, like, balance isn't really a thing. Like if you want to be great, now, if you want to just fly under the radar and be, here, that's fine too. Not everybody has the dream to be great, and that's okay. But I want to be great.
That's okay, but that's what you said.
That's not me. So it's no, I would say that I've always said that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part of being a business owner. You work a lot harder. A lot of people think, ooh, yeah, let me be my own boss. Let me not work for other people. But, people don't understand it's going to take 80 hours a week at first. It's going to take sacrifice, and so business is not for the faint at heart, for sure. You have to sacrifice a lot. And I'd be lying if I said it was all like cush, because it's not.
So at first, was it hard trying to find that balance? Like, how long did it take you to get your groove?
Well, I think the groove comes and goes. I think there's different seasons in business. There are times where, like when COVID hit, it's survival. There's a different feeling when you're trying to survive than if you're feeling pretty confident where you're at, in your business, right? So I had to, first in business, I had to work really, really hard, a lot of hours, and then got to a place where I started delegating, but then you go through another crisis, right? And when you go through crisis, you're the leader. Nobody else can do what you do, or they would own their own business, so that's when you've got to step up and you got to lead your people. You got to be sacrificing your time to make sure everybody knows everything's going to be okay. I got this. Let's go. But then there's seasons where, you know, it kind of relaxes a little bit, and that's where I can really give my family time and balance. But COVID hits, I don't have time to just chill at home. I've got to go deliver 110 bikes to homes, and I've got to go do all the things to keep my business healthy, because if you're not making money, you're not a business. So people think, money is evil and all this. No, money is what gives back to our community. If you're not be able to pay your people, then you don't have a business anymore. If you can't support your family, then that's not a business. That's a hobby, which is fine. And you can have those too. But that's the thing. So, a lot of it is like, how do I make sure I show up for our people that need us mentally, and right now need us more than ever? I'm not just going to give up on them. I got to put in work. So I would say, I think that this area that you guys asked about is so important, because as women, we don't give ourselves grace in the fact of knowing that you can show up the best you can show up, but you can't be all the things all the time to everybody.
Wow. So I'm wondering, I heard you say you did not say getting the right people on the bus, but it's a term that we use in education. There's a book that we read about it, but to hear you talk about that in business, in your field, just kind of wondering if you could share a little bit about that process for you, and maybe like the low and then the highs of getting the right people underneath you.
Sure. So I've gone through a lot of lessons with this, and I think being successful as a leader or as a business owner is unlearning things, relearning things, and being able to grow yourself. The hardest person to lead is right here, you, right? So you've got to be willing to grow. So what I can say is that I've made many mistakes with people. I think that I thought that I was really good with people, and then I had a good discernment for people. What I came to find out is that that's not so much the case. I see people as I am, not who they are. So I see people as generally good, trustworthy, loyal. And so I definitely only see the potential in people. That's why I'm a great trainer. But at the business side, that's not the best thing. So I now have people in place. I no longer hire. So I no longer hire. I took myself out of that role. I can have input, but I only see people as good. I mean, a train wreck could walk through the door and I could be like, I can help them. Let's go.
Fixer. Yeah,
I'm a fixer. I am a fixer, which is phenomenal as a personal trainer. And I think that's why I've been so successful. I only see what you could be. Maybe not who you are, though. Right. So we had an experience happen where I had been opening Anchorage. I put the wrong person in leadership, and the lows. So this is the lows. And during that time, used their power to manipulate, and they ended up opening a studio within a mile of mine and stole all my program design and everything that I've ever built. And
oh my God.
so yeah. And the thing, I don't, but I take ownership of that, right? Like I'm the leader. And
it's
so
your business. Yeah.
I don't want to start crying, but I always get emotional about the part, like, as a leader, it's my job to protect my people. And so when you have somebody like that in the business, and it affects the people you lead. And so that was extremely heartbreaking. And so I would say that's like the lowest low. The opportunity for growth in those moments, though, you can't pay for something like that, right? Like you need those experiences to understand more about yourself and the things moments. Right. And then taking that experience and learning from it, not just being like, oh, woe is me, I'm a victim, blah, blah, blah. No, take ownership of the part you played. Apologize to the people you need to apologize. Even if they don't accept your apology, you need to stand up and be a leader and say, hey, I was wrong. I see I was wrong. I'm sorry I put you through this. And then the only thing you can do to help render the situation is do better. That's it.
Better.
I can't beat myself up about that. Now I've got to move on, which has taken a lot of Brene Brown. If you guys don't know her, get on that bus, shame, all of it, like get on it.
Dare to lead.
Dare to lead. I read it. Yes,
Yeah.
I listened to our podcast. So she helped me a lot through those really difficult times. So I started to look for mentors, hired a business coach, just had to look at myself and think, ooh, what part was ego? What do I need to do better? And then just moved on. So that's the low of the low. But the high from that is now our hiring process is totally shifted. Like I said, I don't hire. I have my manager, Alicia, she's more analytical, right?
Mhm.
Where she's more like, she can cut through the bullshit. Sorry, am I allowed to cuss? But she can see it, right? Like she's like, ooh, something didn't feel right, So I rely on people like her that definitely is more of a realist than like a super big visionary like myself. So yeah, we put things in place and we ask a lot different questions now, when we interview. What is your intentional growth plan? What are you doing right now to grow? Because whoever I'm around, I don't want to just pull them along because I've done that my whole life with people. I want them to pull me somewhere, take me somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. So iron sharpens iron, champions push champions. Find other champions that you want to do business with. Find somebody that you actually want to hang out with. Those are the people.
Because there's a lot of time that you spend with them outside of work.
Yeah, it's like you spend more time working than you do at home.
Right. And when I hire people, they become family. So for me, it's not just like somebody I work with. I hate being called a boss. I hate if they call me their boss. Like all of that makes me uncomfortable. Like that's, am I allowed to cuss or is this like a no cussing thing?
No, you're good.
Okay. So what I kind of coined the term of what I came up with, I had this vision. I take showers and that's when I get like directly downloaded with like thoughts and ideas. But what I call that is I want to be around top shelf bitches.
Right.
I want to be around people that I want to win, but low key, they want me to win too. And they're not like, trying to take me down.
Yes.
Right. So, now I look for those people that there's always there's a knowing when somebody comes in like that, in your gut. It's just learning how to listen to your spirit say something's not right.
You feel that vibe, that weird energy, like
yeah, but you got to listen to the knowing. That's the hard part.
She just took a whole message to me.
Okay, look at you feeling convicted. I got on here, lit you up just now.
I appreciate it, Prophetess Tina. Thank you for the word. I receive it.
All of these important gems. I like that you said that you went and you got a business coach. You have an accountant. You aligned yourself with people that can guide you in the right way. And I think sometimes the mistakes that we make as women is we have to do it all. We have to be 100%, especially if you're balancing being a mom and going to work and owning your own business. So I like that you were like, let me take a step back. I need help. And you reach out to the appropriate resources.
Yeah. And that's, one of the healthy tips I would give is, man, delegate. For a while there, I was buying meal prep. I don't cook, you can't do all the things as a business. I mean, you just can't. So I was buying meal prep. I was hiring somebody to come clean my home. Those hours, what could those hours be used to be on my strength zone? Those aren't my strength zone. Let me give it to somebody else and support somebody else that is their strength zone.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
you want to support other people.
Like it's okay to go hands off. I love that.
Yeah. And I love this, like you have embraced, right? I think going back to being expected to have it all together or get it all done, and it all being on your shoulders, and having people counting on you to always be the symbol of strength and the one that's leading the pack. But you knowing the difference between where your assets lie and how you spend your time, and how that helps you to maximize and really be more effective in what you do for people.
Right.
So I think that's so powerful. Oh, just getting so many lessons today.
So many like nice gems and nuggets. And I also like how you touched on you're surrounding yourself with other women who are uplifting you, not tearing each other down. I think, and it's weird. I feel as though us as women, and I could be wrong, but it's almost like that crabs in a barrel mentality. Like, it's okay to be like, you look cute, girl, or I want to support you. Let me throw some money your way for your business. So I like that you're have aligned yourself with a family. And I've noticed that like every time you do your events, every time I see your videos, it's a real family vibe. And I see that people who start with you, they finish with you, and they feel great. They look amazing. And I've seen some of your community events. So tell me about some of the stuff that you've done in Fairbanks. I know you've done quite a few things.
Yeah, so we do something every year called Spin for a Cause. We pick a local nonprofit. We've worked with suicide prevention. We've worked with, this last one was drugs and alcohol with IAC, women's, so just women of domestic violence and children, things like that. And that's a huge passion of mine, is to be able to use my platform to give back to the community. And so this last year, we did rides for breast cancer detection, the NAACP, Black Lives Matter, so many things during COVID too. So, we've just been able to continue doing these things, and we've raised, I don't know the exact number. I need to get better at this stuff, but it's because I don't really put a lot of emphasis on it.
You have somebody for that.
We just, but we've raised over, I would say, we're over $110,000, $115,000 now that we've raised for the community. So,
Yay!
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I've seen the videos, and it seems like a lot of people come out and support you. Were you nervous about getting that community support, or like, how was that, getting it organized and set
up? No, I wasn't worried about the community support. I just feel like people want to help, and just giving them an avenue to help, and then it being fun and it being interactive. And our spin classes it's called Culture Ride. I created it about 7 years ago when I opened the gym. And Culture Ride is my baby. It's my creation. And I just decided, like, I want to do pole fitness and spin at F&H, right? That's what I'm going to do. And I've never done anything for pole fitness, but I was going to learn. And so I self-taught, and I went to LA and got certified and all these things.
Girl, wait, first of all, hard stop. So you said pole fitness. And when I first started like working with you and I did your makeup, I remember we shot the shot and we did your makeup, and I see the girls getting up on the pole. I'm like, wait a minute. What is going to happen? She said this was fitness, and we got poles. And I saw them up there doing the most incredible things, and they're looking chiseled. Like, and I didn't even know this was a thing. Like, are you still doing the pole fitness at your studio?
No, you can't be a master at everything. You've got to choose the things. And so I've chosen to let that program go, because when I first opened my business, we were doing way too much and it was spreading me so thin, and that's not healthy. And so I had to kind of decide the programs I wanted to keep and the ones that I had to just let go of. And that was one of them. But the cool part is that it's still manifesting in our community. Some of the people that were taking my pole classes are teaching, or if they taught for me, they're teaching. So I think it impacted the community to where it's still going, but I don't need to do everything. I'm willing to like, you know, I'll blaze the trail, but I'm willing to give it to other people to just keep carrying that forward, you know. So no, I don't do that anymore. But with cycling, I knew that that was going to be my thing, and I had taken a couple cycling classes. Terrible, bushwhack, just boring, not my jam. The music was terrible. I'm like, no. So my manager Alicia had been working at one of the big clubs here in town. She had said she had taken cycling, and I just kept telling her, come to my class, please go to my class. She finally came to my class because she hated it. She's like, it's boring, it's a terrible workout, it's way too hard. She came to my class and she had a smile on her face the whole time. We got done with class and she said, that was not cycling. I don't know what that was, but when I started to create it, I thought, you know, I love hip hop. I love going, when I was in my 20s, I love going to the club. That's just part of who I am. So how can I bring that to a bike? And how can I bring pole to a bike with body rolls and dance movements? And so I created Culture Ride. And so that's kind of how we train all of our instructors. So when we do Spin for a Cause, you know, it's a different experience. You're not just like on a bike riding, you're doing all these crazy moves that we, you know, came up with. And so I think it's the appeal. People want to sing and dance, and it gives them an opportunity to like be vulnerable and do those things, because we're creating a space to where they can be themselves, right? And so I think when it comes to the fundraising and stuff, it's just so people want to jump on board. Oh, I can have fun and I can give back, like, you know, so it's just a great experience. So community always shows up for us.
Love that. I heard you say something or a little bit earlier in the statement that you were just sharing with us about like health. And I feel like we need just a little bit of what your health and wellness tips are. I think you were talking earlier about like being in COVID and people's workout schedules and routines are, you know, could be all over the place, or some people have found kind of, you know, their groove. So what are some health and wellness tips that you have for the everyday average Joes that aren't in the gym all the time?
Easy stuff, Tina. I can't get up on no pole, girl, but I will if that's the number one tip.
Okay, I'll give you a few little nuggets. So what I call it is the healthy hustle. That came to me in one of those shower thoughts. Seriously, like it just will come. And the healthy hustle is mind, body, soul. So people always think health is just directly related to the body, which that's the business I'm in. I'm in the business of fitness, but also it's about mindset, body, and soul. So when you're looking, let's just start with mindset. I call it the mind grind. And for mindset, it's about changing and shifting your perspective. So one thing that I like to say is enter gratitude, change your attitude. So it's learning ways to get in a positive mindset. So if you're feeling angry, if you're having a hard day, you know, your kids are told you could go back to school, just kidding. You know, our children are suffering right now. Our parents are suffering right now. So in those moments where you just want to, you know, be angry, change your perspective, enter gratitude, say 3 things you're grateful for, and it will shift your whole vibration. So I would recommend doing that for mindset when you're having a really bad day. But also with mindset, something that we do at FNH are positive affirmations after every class. So starting to recognize as you're going through the day, how you speak to yourself. The 2 most powerful words are I am. For what you say after I am is what will really mold your life, okay, your health, all the things. It's about self-image. So if you are saying things like, I'm so stupid, I'm always late, I'm ugly, I'm fat, things like that, at a cellular level, that's detrimental to your health, right? And these are things people don't think about when they think of health, right? They just think of like working out and eating, but these are the things that hold us in the bad routines that we're in all the time because we see ourselves as unhealthy human beings. So when you start to find this shift in your mind where you're just tearing yourself apart, you need to start recognizing it and then going right into your positive affirmations. I am healthy. I am kind. I am lovable. I am worthy. I am enough, right? So you got to start to rewire the brain to have a healthy mindset. So just a couple tips there. Your body, gosh, this is what I'm in the business of, and people always want a certain look. And I just feel like aesthetics is just a side effect of good nutrition and health and self-love. And even skinny people aren't healthy. So you can't put a body type on if you are healthy or not, because I know a lot of people that are skinny and all that and have cancer. So, I think we need to shift our mind around aesthetics and start shifting our mind towards health and healthy lifestyle, which I've seen it has been shifting in the past 10 years, which is exciting. But the number one thing I would tell people about food, I'll ask you guys a question and you guys can answer at home if you're watching this, but how many meals do you think a sumo wrestler eats in a day? You could just throw a guess out there, whatever you think. How many meals?
Breakfast, snack, lunch, snack.
Snack. 6 or 7.
7.
Okay. A sumo wrestler eats 1 meal a day.
Oh!
Okay. So I've been doing this work my whole adult life, and I would say the people that struggle with their weight the most are eating how many meals in a day?
1.
1. And so we need to change the way we think about nutrition. So many people think, well, I just won't eat all day. I want to lose weight, so I'm going to starve myself, right? I want to lose weight, so I'm only going to eat once or twice today. Well, that actually does the opposite of what we want. Okay. Food is energy. So when you're looking at food, you want to be eating every 3 to 4 hours. You have to eat breakfast. And people always say, well, I don't want to eat breakfast. It makes me feel sick. Makes me feel sick to my stomach. Well, your stomach's a muscle. Do you go to the gym and train your biceps? Then you got to train your stomach. Like, right?
Yeah.
So you've got to train your body to want food. You've got to change the damage that you've done to your metabolism. So what I recommend is eating 5 to 6 small meals throughout the day. And then, a lot of people are stuck on this caloric consumption. I'm only going to eat 1,200 calories a day, or macros or whatever. Great. Whatever, can help guide you a little bit. But really, when they look at food, you could have 2,000 calories of processed bad food, right? And 2,000 calories of healthy food. Well, they're the same amount calorically, but why is the person that's eating processed food obese and the people that are eating clean food not obese? So it's not about caloric consumption, it's about quality of food. And so people really need to get back to quality of food. Before you eat something, I want you to think, who prepared this food? Was this prepared by hands or was this prepared by a machine? Can I read these labels? So it's just about focusing on quality of food and, bless your body with the food you eat. That will shift your mindset. You've got to be intentional when you're putting things into your body, right? And then move your body. I mean, it could be that simple, Courtney. Girl, you ain't got to get on a pole.
I can do it.
Just all you got to do when you see that the most powerful part of moving our body, though, that people don't realize, when you move your body, you change your mind, you change your life. So if you're having a hard day, go out on a walk. When you start to move your body, you're going to feel better. So it's not just about getting skinny or whatever that is. It's about being healthy and showing up for yourself in that way. So move your body. And then water, really quick. Half your body weight in ounces a day is just a good rule of thumb. So if you weigh 200 pounds, half of that is 100 ounces of water a day. Good starting point. If you exercise, you need a little bit more. but I would gradually increase your water. You're going to be on the toilet all day. So maybe incremental, right? Adding rather just than like blasting it and drinking all the water at one setting. Last part of the body that I just think people don't think about is stress management. You know,
We're guilty.
so many times we just like push through and get tough. And it's this whole mentality of like, don't feel, just keep going, run yourself into the ground. And so self-care is important. You know, massage therapy for me it saves my body. It gives me what I need. Meditation, yoga, all those things. There's so many free yoga classes you can do for 20 minutes. You know, Peloton is a great app that has a lot of different workouts, 10-minute workout here, 20-minute workout there. So make sure you're managing your stress. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about is the soul. I see the soul as energy. That's just kind of how I feel. So the soul to me is management of energy. So you are a direct reflection of the top 5 people you hang out with the most. Are you cool with that? What does that look like for you? Because you are a direct reflection of them. So when you look in your circle, are they people that lift other women up and are positive and are making moves and doing all the thing? Or are they, you know, not in a good vibration? It's draining talking to them every day. You know, you've got to do an energy assessment around you. And something I posted today, just people have all these goals for 2021. But maybe taking an energy audit or inventory is smart. So you're going to write down all the things you love on one side, all the things you loathe on the other side. So just to keep your energy okay, you want them in balance. So you do as many things as you love and loathe, right? They're the same. But what your goal is to be able to do 70% of the things you love and only 30% of the things you loathe. That's going to make you it's going to make you a more energetic person. You're going to show up better for your kids and for yourself and for the world if you're doing things that you love. Now, it's life. You're going to have to do things you don't want to do. But if you can minimize that or maybe give it and delegate it to somebody else, you're going to be healthier.
I like how you're always like, I've never seen you down here. You've always just exuded this vibrance and energy. And I don't know if it's food. I don't know if it's mindfulness. I don't know if it's exercise.
I don't know if it's the pole.
Skin is clear. Like, what is going on? I think you've given us so much perspective as to why, like, you've worked out your mind, you've gotten yourself into the space where I'm going to be positive, energetic, and if I'm having a low, how can I fix it? You know, I like how you say it's not going to be a woe is me. What can I do to be better? I like how you're always pouring into yourself mentally, but also physically, giving yourself good foods. You're taking care of yourself, and I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Love it. So yesterday I posted on our Instagram at SHEphoria, and I asked what are some questions that you guys had for Tina and Tina Girl. I got quite a few questions, so I'm gonna go ahead and scale it down in lieu of time because I think some of them you actually have already answered. But I picked out one that I thought was really, really interesting. I want to get your perspective because I've heard so much about it. Question is, hi, Tina. I love you. I want to know, what are your thoughts on keto?
Oh, girl, don't get me started. So I've seen just throughout all my years of personal training, I've seen so many fad diets, and that's what keto is. It's a fad diet, throws your body into ketosis, which can be extremely dangerous. People lose their hair, pass out, liver failure, like all the things, right? Sorry, my computer was dying, and so I had to come over here so I didn't lose you guys.
Oh no, you're fine.
What I would suggest is rather than doing something like keto, maybe just start trying to eat more whole foods. You know, we're in a society of like, people want to just get things done quickly. Keto's great for that because, yeah, you do lose a lot of weight. I have not seen one person keep it off, or keep it off and not gain an extra 20 pounds on top of what
Why
they had.
is that?
It's because it's not sustainable.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. It's caloric deprivation. And you're eating things like high fat, you know, keto is high fat. So it's not good for your
It's
heart.
not healthy. Yeah.
Right. So like I was saying earlier, you could be skinny and not be healthy. I mean, I know some bodybuilders that look great aesthetically, but that doesn't mean, you know, they're eating like fast food or so, you know, I just think that people need to start thinking about quality food and what is going to keep me autoimmune disease free. Like my mom had cancer. She cured her cancer with vegan diet and juicing. So for me, it's like I've seen it food heal people. I've also seen food and diets like the keto make people have liver failure, hair loss, all the things. So I think if a diet tells you you can't eat a banana, it isn't a good diet.
What? And you know what? I like that you mentioned about the vegan and it's completely cured her. But so this is my thing. I've seen vegans that I don't understand it because I'm like, I'm gonna go vegan. I got this. And I'm like, well, so what do I eat? Like vegetables? And then I go on some of these sites and you can get this TV dinner, that package. And I'm like, what's the point of going vegan? I'm just eating a bunch of processed food.
Right. And I think rather than saying vegan, maybe being whole food, you know, I think because even you could even be an unhealthy vegan. I mean, it's all about food choice. Just because you don't eat meat or dairy doesn't mean you're healthy. You could go eat potato. I could say I'm vegan and go eat potato chips every meal. Like,
it's vegan, girl.
Right. Right. So I think, you know, keto, I'm not a huge fan. The only time I would ever recommend that is if I had a special person that, let's say, if they don't lose 100 pounds in 4 months, they might die, you know, something that's so important like that, but I wouldn't be helping them. I would send them to a doctor.
Girl, she just saved me because that was on my New Year's list, keto.
Yeah.
So
don't do it then.
No, I wouldn't do it. Hey, and I might get a lot of flack for this, but I truly believe in being healthy. You know, at the end of the day, I'm in the business of health. I don't care if you got a 6-pack and your organs aren't working well. Like, who cares? Let's be healthy, right? Like, what?
The organs.
Okay, 6-pack and knocking on death's door.
Wow, that's terrible.
Oh my God! Well,
thank you for that.
I'm not gonna say who asked it, but if you're watching, I know you are. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Okay. So the next question is, hi, Tina. I'm here in Fairbanks. I've always wanted to go to your classes, but I'm scared. I'm overweight. I don't have good stamina. I haven't worked out since high school. I really want to take your classes, but I'm nervous. Do you think I should wait until I'm ready? Or do you think I should just go ahead and give it a go?
I would say go ahead and give it a go unless you have any underlying like serious conditions. The environment that we try and create at FNH is everybody's welcome, right? Mm-hmm. And I keep it dark in the room for a purpose. You know, especially on somebody's journey that's really new, they want to go hide in the corner. And I allow them to hide in the corner. That doesn't mean I'm still not going to be like, hey, I see you in the corner, kill it. But I think just stripping away the feeling that when you walk into a room, and so many people have explained this feeling to me, and I've felt this feeling going into fitness studios and gyms or yoga studios, a feeling of, you know, just being judged. I think that's the hardest part is like, what did I say? Number one thing that women get shamed for. We get shamed for our bodies, you know? So there's this heavy feeling that we feel walking into a fitness studio, but what I can say is just sit down and spin. Do it at your own level. You don't have to keep up with everybody else. Just feel the energy. Sit in the corner and just dance and feel the energy. Get up and twerk a little bit. You're good. Get off your bike and dance. I mean, I don't care. I've had people get off their bike and dance during class, and I give them 100% permission. Like, it's okay. You know, if you got to leave and you make it through 20 minutes, yo, you just showed up. You made it through 20 minutes. That's a win. For a lot of people, the win that day is just walking through the door. Good. Walk through the door.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah,
I say show up. And if she wants to come in early and get set up on her bike or come and get measured, meet with a trainer, we do a free consult, you know, so just however she would feel comfortable being in that space. I think a lot of times it takes the mindset of like, I think we're harder on ourselves than we think everybody's talking or being judgmental, but I think that's us, you know, projecting that a lot of times, you know, so yeah, come in. We would love to see you.
And I like that you said that. I read a book about a month ago where I listened to a book on Audible, and the author, he said something along the lines of, a lot of times we don't push forward to do something or try and set a goal or take care of something that we've always dreamt about or want to do is because of the fear of what other people are going to say or think. Yep. In all actuality, that doesn't matter. You know, what purpose does that serve? So I like that you drop that. So let me go ahead and move on. Hey, Christina and Courtney, I missed you guys. Please ask Tina what she thinks about fasting.
So there are benefits to fasting. I've known of people that have gone to fasting clinics that had tumors and things like that and have been able to get rid of their tumors with fasting. We've been fasting as humankind since day one, if it's for religious reasons or things. So I think that fasting can be beneficial, but I also think that right now fasting is used as a tool to sell books and, you know, the nutrition business, the diet business, you know, I think just uses these things that could be really beneficial as like a way to aesthetically lose weight. And so, if it's for a religious reason and it's very short, then it's okay. But I've seen many doctors speak about the diets that people are using and the fasting diets, and they're not recommended by nutritionists, certified nutritionists and doctors, because again, you aren't getting proper nutrition. People are starving themselves to look a certain way, but you can't sustain it. So you're going to gain all the weight back plus an extra 20. And on top of it, you just ruined, you know, your metabolism. So fasting because of a religious reason or for a short time, I think can be okay. But again, you need to be monitored by a doctor or a registered dietitian.
I think because I thought up until today, I was today years old, that was a good means of how you should go about nutrition. And after I had my baby a few years ago, I did do the fasting. So you stop eating after 8 and you don't eat till 12. And I'd be sitting at the desk, shaking and carrying on. My mind was foggy. I'm blinking hard and carrying on because I can't see. It was just too much. But I mean, I look good, but I was miserable. Right. I mean, I guess I don't want to say I looked good, right? Because you mentioned even skinny people are unhealthy, you know? I was bones. That's not cute. Right. You know, I had no definition, no nothing. And so I'm glad that you touched on that.
Well, and I think just one more thing with that is food is energy. The next energy store is typically found in muscle, ATP and muscle. So when you fast like that, people think you just burn fat. You burn muscle for energy. So you're burning muscle. So people will show up to my cycling class and not eat before they come. And I'm sitting here thinking, don't come. I would rather you stay home than come and out and burn a bunch of
bike.
Yeah, fall off that bike. And the thing is, if you eat before your workout, you're going to get a better workout. There is fasted cardio and some bodybuilders use it, but it's like walking on a treadmill. It's like so low key. It's spin class or running or whatever on an empty stomach. You're going to burn muscle. It's detrimental. But it's a very touchy subject. Every trainer has a different idea of what that looks like, but that's my belief system on it. Yeah, for sure.
Can I ask a quick question? What is a like good pre-workout meal, and then how soon before the workout should you consume it?
So you should consume it within an hour before your workout, a good carb and protein. So you'd be looking at like a banana and peanut butter, or carrots and hummus, or a big salad with chicken. Carb, protein within an hour. Now, you might have to build up your tolerance and do a lot smaller if you haven't been eating regularly, or if it makes you feel sick. You need to find foods that feel good when you're working out, right? So some people are like, bananas, give me indigestion, or peanut butter. But I could eat a full whatever right before and take a whole class. So it's all about preference and how your body works and how your body processes food, but definitely a carb and a protein. And then for a pre-workout, black coffee or green tea is great, rather than all these pre-workouts people are taking that have all these carcinogens and chemicals in it. Just drink some black coffee or some green tea. That's a great pre-workout.
Simple. Drinking all these pre-workouts tastes like Fruit Loops and sherbet.
Dying.
Just need some coffee, regular old coffee, doing the most. All right, so the next one says, hi, Tina. Hi, Christina. Hi, Courtney. Ask Tina what I can do to work out. I have an autoimmune disease and I can't go to the gym. I can't take any classes, but I feel like I put on the quarantine 20. What do I do?
Well, I think first of all, if it's special population, she needs to talk to her doctor. You know what I mean? Like, because I don't know what that means and what that is. So I don't want to give advice and it be detrimental if somebody has health issues. But if she's wondering just what are good like workout apps, or is she saying because of COVID? So she's special population, she can't go to the gym because of COVID because she has the autoimmune? Okay, got it. So like I said earlier, there's Peloton apps, there's free workouts on YouTube that you can Google. At FNH, we delivered all of our bikes when the pandemic hit, and we still have about 30 people renting bikes. And so we stream all of our classes live. And then we also post the recordings after. So we have people everywhere joining us, taking our cycling classes. So she's more than welcome if she has a bike to do that. If she's in our area, we still have bikes that she could rent if she wants to do that. But there's a lot of things that you can do at home right now. What was really cool about the pandemic is I got to learn from my favorite instructors because they were just going live. Like, when else do you get an opportunity to get into somebody's classroom like that and learn from the greats, the best of the best? So there's a lot of options right now for her. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I want to say that I truly appreciate you. You've even given me some gems and some nuggets that I'm going to sit and marinate on. Like, now I'm pumped. Like, come on, 2021. I am so ready. So what do you have for 2021? Tell our viewers and our listeners where they can find you. Just let us know what's going on.
Yeah, popping for 2021, man, I'm ready to start growing, business wise. We've kind of just been surviving. I'm ready for the next thing, I've got ADD. So for me, it's like, I'm ready. Let's go. So I'm sure we'll be doing something awesome. I don't know what yet. We'll just take it as it comes, but you can find us on Instagram, FNH Fitness Studio, on Facebook, FNH Fitness Studio, our website, fhfitnessstudio.com. You can follow me personally. I'm the Healthy Hustle Tina on Instagram, or Tina Peterson Berenger on Facebook. And yeah, any way that I can help you, I just want to make myself accessible to do so.
Well, we love it. One last thing. Tell our viewers, our listeners, what is one piece of advice that they can take into 2021?
I would say set growth goals, not just goals.
Mm.
So many people are going to set aesthetic goals or goals that are unrealistic or not even healthy or whatever the things are. Or you'll set a hairy, audacious goal, right? And you'll hit it. And then a lot of times after people hit those goals, what happens? They get
Plateau.
super depressed. It's
Yeah.
like, what's next? But if you set goals to grow, you'll never stop growing. So it always feels attainable. So what I did a couple years ago is instead of scrolling, because I wanted to start cutting out toxic things in my life, I said, every time I want to scroll, I'm going to turn on a podcast or I'm
Mm.
going to pull out a book. So
Mm.
just, what are you ingesting? Make sure it's good, healthy things. But I would just say be growth oriented, not just goal oriented.
Beautiful.
I love that. I love that. Well, Tina, we're not going to keep you one more time. Where can they find you?
FHfitnessstudio.com, or you can find us on Instagram and Facebook. And we're trying to break into that Twitter, or what is it called? TikTok. We'll see. We're trying to break into that.
Girl.
Yeah.
I told you, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna sing you our intro music, like our theme song, and I want to see you hit it. Okay? I want to see it.
For sure. For sure.
All right. Well, we love you. Happy New Year, and we enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much, Tina.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, you guys, we hope you enjoyed that conversation. I'm pumped. Are you ready for 2021?
I'm so ready. I was actually sitting here thinking to myself, like, man, I don't know that I wrote any goals down that I want to like be vision boarding for that night. I was just going to show up and like vision board the night before. And I just felt kind of like I don't need, like she said, you don't need a whole like list of goals, and just focus on doing a few things well. So I'm really excited to like, number one, take inventory of who's in my circle, and just make sure that I am surrounded by uplifting people that are helping to push me forward. So that's like top of mind for me. And then of course, like I just feel energized to like get back in the gym and stay on the workout hustle.
Yeah. And I think what I took most from Tina is, yes, I have goals for 2021, but be intentional about it. Like, so what is my purpose? What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? If I can't do it, who do I need to get in my team that's going to uplift me and be able to help me, have that come to fruition, really. So,
yep.
I'm excited. I'm so excited.
This is such a great episode.
Exciting stuff coming. We cannot wait to share it. I'm pumped. I'm ready.
Me too. I'm excited too to like grow our podcast. I'm excited about this. So
yeah, I think we're doing good. We look good on camera. Girl. I look a little shiny, but
hey girl.
I mean, it is what it is.
Warm and cozy by the Christmas tree.
I'm glowing. I'm glowing.
Yes, you are. You have it. You have it. Yeah.
All right, you guys. Well, slide in our DM, send us an email at SHEphoria podcast at gmail.com. We're also on Twitter at SHEphoria. Hit us up if you have questions. Let us know. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Love you.
In the new year. See you 2021.